Welcome to Let Me Touch You podcast, Season 3, This Is Me. You're now entering a judgment-free zone where your hosts discuss any and every topic, but make sure to give you some motivational advice to go with it once you're done listening. Now allow me to introduce your host, the HBIC, Barbie.
Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to Let Me Touch You podcast. I am your host, Barbie. And today I have an amazing person with me. It's a good friend of mine, Laura. Laura is a licensed speech therapist, and she is also an Herbalife distributor. That's a little brief introduction, but I'll let her do the full-blown introduction. Please introduce yourself to everyone.
Hi, everybody. Thank you, Barbara, for having me. I'm super excited to be here.
Thank you.
I love everything that you're doing.
Thank you.
Actually, like we know each other working at the hospital and things like that. And just seeing you in this platform just makes my heart so super happy.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, Barbara is right. Amongst so many hats that I wear,
Yes.
I am a speech language pathologist, a bilingual speech language pathologist. So I get to speak, I speak English and Spanish. And so I work with bilingual children. In addition to that, I'm a health coach and Herbalife is basically provides the nutrition that I provide, and I provide the coaching. Amongst that, I am 46 years young. I just recently became a grandma.
Yes, on that. He is so cute. God bless him.
And definitely new and exciting area to be in. So I am a mother. And my daughter's 27 years young as well. And amongst other things, I'm a daughter of number 5, so one of 5, and I'm the youngest.
All girls.
All girls.
So, crazy because I'm the youngest of 5 girls as well. My mom had nothing but girls. Yep.
I think we said that before, but I may have forgotten. Yes. And I was like, we have that in common.
Yeah.
So yes. Good things.
Yes, good things, great things. Okay, so today I want to talk about health, right? Health, self-care, self-improvement. When you hear the word health, what does health mean to you?
It encompasses more than just the physicality, which, even myself personally, when I first started my journey, I went into it with I just wanted to lose weight. When you do that, though, the process, the transformation has led me to definitely see that it does take mind, body, and soul. So meaning that I had to learn how to nourish my body mentally, physically, and spiritually. And though that encompasses, the whole journey, because I wasn't looking to do a diet, I was looking to do a lifestyle. And I think that's what made a big difference for me.
Okay, so you feel for someone who's in the beginning process of transitioning, do you feel they need to be better off with their mental first before they can start the process? Or you think it'll all come along as they're going?
I think it depending on how you start. I could personally, I guess I could speak from my personal experience, I guess. I'll give you an example because I can't really be like, okay, this is what, because we're not, how you say, molds where there's this is the way to do it, and you do it this X, Y, and Z, and that's the way it's gonna. That's, I think, nearly impossible, simply because we're all just uniquely and beautifully made and just so special in our own way.
I agree. Everyone's different. Everyone handles things differently.
Exactly, and we are where we are in life, wherever you may be. So just like me personally, I was just prior to just having the desire, because it comes with a decision, like I'm gonna do this, right? Because I've tried many diets before and lost the 5 pounds, and I was like, yeah, and then I went back to the same thing that I was doing. Yeah. And so those were diets, but I just came to a space where I had left a job that I was with. I was customer service representative on the phone for 11 years, a little over 11 years. And what that did to my body was just physically, I had like beginnings of carpal tunnel, I had bulging discs, I had so many ailments in my 30s that I was just like, okay, this is how I'm gonna live. I mean, like I had every type of disability, half days on, half days off, break every 15 minutes. Like it was that I used to get injections every month.
Oh, wow.
Like the pain, it wasn't like, do you have pain today? It was like, how much? I was just used to living with pain. My doctors were my best friends.
Like me, describing me.
Yeah. So, I mean, that was just like, it came to a point where I was just like, okay, I accepted that. I was just like, I saw my future as, okay, I'm going to be on permanent disability. And, you know, I was just like, that was that was me just envisioning my future like that. So, but there came a time where I was just, I felt it got bad when me and my friends were like really contemplating, and we were deacon joking, but we were, and she's going to kill me if this does become, we were a concept like, if I break my pinky, like I don't really need it, but I could be off for how long?
Oh my God.
We laugh at it today, but like when it's that bad, you don't, there's a saying like, you don't know how bad you were until you know how good you feel.
Exactly.
Good, you know? So it was just like a survival thing, right? I mean, and God is just so on purpose. Just the company was letting people go with all the technology. It was the phone company, so we don't need home phones anymore, right? We're going into internet and stuff. Mm-hmm. And they were just looking to let go of people, right? To save money. And so I took, you know, what they offered to leave. And I was like, it came at the precise moment in my life where I said, when my daughter turns 18 years old, I'm going to go back to school and finish what I started. Okay. And the time came and I was like, oh, where did the time go? I was like, I can't believe that she's 18 years old already. And so it was just like, I literally just took a leap of faith. I left a good paying job that I was so miserable, like literally physically deteriorating, and decided to go back to school. And I went back to school for 5 years straight. 5 years straight. I finished my bachelor's in one school, was doing my prerequisites for speech in another school, finished my master's, finished a teaching license, and finished bilingual extension at Columbia in 5 years straight. Like I went.
And how old were you at that time?
I graduated at 40.
You see, people, the reason why I ask that is because sometimes we put like a limit on ourselves. Like, you know, we give ourselves a time frame, like, you know, if I don't have this done by 30, 35, then, you know, time is up. Society makes some people feel that by a certain age, you have to do certain things. And that's one thing we all have to take out of our head. Look at you waited till your daughter was 18. You did everything you had to do at 40. It's never too late.
Right. I mean, I was a single mom, and I attempted to go back several times. It is hard. It's hard. It is. You know, it's hard when it's hard to be a mom and then a single mom, yes. Even more. So, I mean, you know, you just do what you got to do to provide food and shelter, right? For this person that didn't ask to be here. But so I strongly believe and agree with you. It's never too late. Society does put, like, if you don't have, you know, a home by a certain age, or you can have a home at 50 years old, you can have your degree at 50 years old, you can go back to school, you can start anew. I know people who have a degree and are miserable in what they do. I know people who have the degrees and are happy in what they do. I know people who never had a degree and are super successful. Mm-hmm. You know? So, I mean, it's whatever's in your heart. And I just knew in my heart that, I was not happy, and I always felt that I was meant to do more. I always loved working with kids. I have my own business. I am a clown, a professional clown, and I'm Lala, and my daughter was Pinky, so she left when she moved to Cali. Pinky left. But yes, I decided to just take that leap of faith, and not knowing what was going to happen. But I was just like, okay, this came into, right at the right time. And I believe strongly, I'm a firm believer that God is on purpose and on time. And I took it and I went. The thing was, as a student, whoever's been a student, whoever has children, you don't eat right. I ate crap. I ate whatever was in the cafeteria. I was like, I'm eating these green machine drinks. I don't know if you ever heard of them.
No, I haven't.
I'm like, it just like looked like a green drink, and it was filled with like green vegetables and bananas, and it had when I look at that now,
a whole bunch of things that are not healthy.
So much sugar and just stuff that no wonder I kept gaining weight. I literally had several breakdowns. So I'm just to say, everything, even the things that you want in life will have challenges. The thing is that not to give up.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I had several breakdowns even during in school. Like I woke up one day, this is since we're talking about health. And like I was on my way to a midterm, and I probably had like 1 hour sleep because I was studying all night long and stuff. So I got up to take the test and fell to the floor.
Oh, wow.
Just literally.
The body crashed.
Fell to the floor. Never made it to the test. Went straight to the doctor.
Wow.
So it's just something else that I've learned with all of this, with my journey, is you can't really do much without your health. And unfortunately, we tend to neglect that piece. And it's maybe because we just never learned the right way. I know as Spanish women and in our culture, I mean, we can go into that.
That's exactly what I was thinking of. Spanish women in our culture, it's true.
We just have this culturally, just like, we, arroz con pollo, chuela, maduro con queso.
Coffee, keep it going.
Coffee, and people get in the morning, and you keep going. So I just found myself in this place. I was overweight. I was tired. I was exhausted. I accomplished this thing, right? So great. I didn't have the energy to keep up with the children that I was now, providing service to.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, I also came out of a 20-year relationship that didn't serve me. So again, something else. That I left, I was on and off pretty much at that point, actually. So it was towards the end, and I just was tired of being tired. And I reached out to my coach, which is my daughter.
How amazing is that, right?
So my coach, guys, is my child. So you can learn from someone who's young.
Yes.
We
learn a lot from our kids.
Absolutely, 110%. There's, I saw her, how happy she was. I saw how the results that she got. She was trying to get me to do this 1 year prior. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'll take the shake part. Like, I never did it right because I was like in school. But when I made that decision, so it's making a decision, it's saying, okay, I was just like, that's it. I need to, if I don't do this, who's going to do it?
It's true.
So I just did it. It's super simple. Best thing I've ever did. Best decision I ever did. The best thing I've ever entered into, because it led to everything else. It led to the transformation mentally. It led to the transformation spiritually. It led to all things that has kept me to where I am today, which is 30 pounds down, full of energy. I have more energy today than I ever did in my life.
Yeah.
I am lifting weights. I'm up 15 pounds of lean muscle, and I look at myself in the mirror, and I remember, and I get emotional every time I say it because I remember.
I start crying when people are crying.
I don't have no tissue. I do. I found it under my, of course, my Zoom for kids. Because I literally had planned my life on disability.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at myself in the mirror at the gym, and I'm doing squats. I'm doing leg presses of over 400 pounds right now. And I'm just in awe of what a decision can do for you, a determination and a consistency of just choosing you. I finally chose myself for once.
Sometimes we have to be selfish and put ourselves first.
I don't call it selfish. I call it selfless.
Okay, yeah, I get it. Yeah, selfless is a selfless decision. Yeah.
Right, because how, in order for you to be your best self, in order for you to be the best mom, the best girlfriend, the best wife, the best daughter, the best therapist, the best anything, you have to fill your cup. You have to be in a good space in order to give 110. Otherwise, we're half-assing everything, and that's what culturally I think that we've been, taught or to do. Like I saw my mom; she would give everybody this time. You're this time. This to everybody else, and then she would just be exhausted.
It's true. It happens a lot. Like, let's say, for example, me. I'm the giver. I'm that friend that you're going through something. You can call me and I'm there for you. But then yesterday, I had like a reality check. I was like, I'm going through so much more new things now than I was maybe a week ago that people don't know of. I'm not that type of person to just call you and be like, oh, I'm going through this. But even though I'm going through all of this, so the more that things are adding up, it's less and less than my cup has. So with the little bit I have left, I'm sitting here giving people advice and listening to everything you're going through. And I told myself today, I was like, I can't keep doing it. Because it bothers me sometimes that I can't be there for my friends and during certain situations. But if I'm not 100%, I just can't sit here and keep allowing you to pour your stuff into me when I have more than enough going on within myself. So I told myself, I was like, you know what? Sit back, relax. I haven't been paying attention to my phone much, but I need it for myself. Because in order to be a better friend, to give you better advice, I have to be better mentally. Because if not, I'm going to give you half advice because technically I'm not fully there where you need me to be. So sometimes we have to take that time for ourselves to sit back and, analyze what we're going through before we can want to be there for someone else the way they would want us to.
And that's beautiful that you came to that realization, because I was the same way. I am the same way. But, you could be, I think the more work that you do, the more things that you learn about yourself, like what you're doing, you're learning a lot more, because for every show that you do, you get more information, and that's knowledge, right? And then once you have knowledge, it's like, what are you going to do? You need to then understand it, and you're in a space of understanding of what is actually happening. Like in this case, what you just said, understanding that, okay, I'm like mentally and, maybe spiritually exhausted right now, and I need a little time out. And that's just forming boundaries. So what that then is, which is again, that could also lead to the power of saying no. Right? Saying no. I mean, that's another area I think that I had to learn, just to say no. No is a complete sentence. It doesn't need any explanation. It's just no, period. Yeah. Because when you say yes, nobody ever says, oh, well, why? They're just like, nobody ever questions a yes.
And if no is questioned, you have a right not to answer just because. And
even if you feel like, okay, even if there was something, I don't think so, but let me check my schedule and I'll get back to you. Just even being to say that instead of saying a quick yes without double checking, if you're able to do that or give of yourself, right?
Yeah.
So that's beautiful, a beautiful space you're in. And I'm excited for you. I know you're saying it's a lot, and you have a lot more, but the more that you get, it's because it's big things are happening, right? You have to get uncomfortable in order for growth. You can't stay comfortable. If you kept getting the same thing, there's no growth there. The growth comes when you get uncomfortable. Like,
that's why I say me losing my job, it was the most uncomfortable situation I've ever dealt with in my life.
I didn't even know that.
Yes, in October.
Really?
Yes, they let me go in October because of the whole COVID thing. And I didn't have anyone to do the homeschool with the kids. So I basically needed it part-time, and they couldn't accommodate me. They said that if they helped me, they would have to help others.
Right.
So they either needed me full-time or not at all. So they let me go.
Wow.
And that was like the craziest thing. I've never been jobless. I've been working since I was like 13, 14. I've never been a stay-at-home mom. I give so much props to the moms that have always been stay-at-home moms, because it's a huge job itself. But if that would have never happened, I think I would have stopped doing the podcasting, because I started the podcasting when the pandemic started, when I was on family leave. Then when I went back to work, I saw that it was harder for me to keep up with work and keep up with this. But now that I have nothing else to do but be at home, be a mom, be a teacher, my brain is always like rolling. I'm laying down watching something on TV, I'm getting an idea, I'm jotting it down. So I feel everything happens for a reason. I'm a true believer of that.
Absolutely, 110%. And that is, we could see it. You can see the things half full or half empty. Right?
Yeah.
And 2020 out, of course, it has been super, super hard.
What would you say is the biggest challenge you dealt with in 2020?
The biggest challenge in 2020 has definitely, now that I look back and I see a lot of the things that have come to fruition, was I realized what I was doing in order to keep myself afloat.
Okay.
So where I live too, I think not being able to see, because you know me, I am everywhere in the day. I am a people person. I am that face to face, like you.
Yes.
Like when we've had conversations. So like when I'm next to you, you can feel me.
Yes.
Like you can feel, and that's I feel like that's my gift. And I was like, I know that motivational speaker is what I'm meant to do in this world.
Yes, you make me cry all the time in the lounge, all the time. It's like, I can't see Laura on my lunch break. She's gonna make me cry.
Oh, one thing I wanted to say though, because I didn't want to forget, and it was something that I heard not so long ago, and I feel like it actually will help. It definitely helped me look at things at a different perspective. And it's like, don't ever be afraid to reach out to anyone. And that's something, just again, even as women, we tend to we don't want to bother somebody. I'm
like that.
Right. It's just, again, I think it goes back to just culturally, because I feel, at least with my generation, or I could say, it has always been like a judgmental type of thing, and again, it's just culture, very catty, instead of uplifting each other, it's always been a competitive thing. And that's a whole conversation in itself, women, right? So I think, we're like, if you see your mother, she's strong, she did what she had to do, she just independent, I don't depend on nobody, and but then that goes into a whole bunch of other issues.
Yes.
But what I heard is that if you need help, ask and you shall receive. The thing is that if you reach out to someone, let me decide if I can, to have, if and when I'm going to help you. Don't ever, never, if I would say to you, because you're a close friend, if you feel like you need someone to talk to, send that message, right? Send that message, because normally the person that you feel like you want to speak to, you're not bothering them. That's why who depending on who you're around, the people that you're around make such a big difference. You want people who are going up with you or in a specific headspace. right? Because not the more that you go up, I feel you're gonna not really get people that have done the work with you or have done the work in order to get maybe what you're talking about of level. Not to say that someone can't understand you, but it's a certain space when you start doing things like this. So let the person, allow them to answer you. Don't decide for them. When we don't send that message, we're saying, oh, I'm bothering them. You're already speaking for me. And I never said
what you're saying. Yeah.
Never said you're bothering me.
Yeah.
You said you're bothering me, and there you never sent the message. Let me decide. Let me form my boundaries. That was like, wow. Okay. Because we do that. I do that. I stop myself. I don't want to bother her. She's super busy. But you know,
I don't want to seem needy. She has her own things going on in her life. Yeah.
Yeah. So let that person, you know, let them form their own boundaries and be able to just even answer you. And you never know. And this part I do agree with the person who was speaking was, you never know what the other person can provide. Like, you never know if they know someone that can help you with the situation that you're in. Like, you never know if they can, you know, we always say, you may not have done this podcast because of the lack of money, but when you are in your passion, the money's going to come. People are going to see you, and you just get someone like, hey, I want to sponsor you. I want to be
everything lines up.
Everything always lines up when you're in your gift, when you're in your passion, when you just like have a belief in something because it's here. And what is that? A dream. And who's in your heart? God, that's how he speaks to you. You know, so it's there for a reason. So don't ever not do that.
No, yeah.
Send the message.
I'll send the message. Okay, so I know you have a meeting in a few minutes, so we're gonna wrap it up. What self-care practices do you practice, or that you would recommend to people who are like looking for techniques to be more at center within themselves, to help find themselves, to help get them started into any transformation, whether it's spiritually, mentally, or physically? Okay.
I mean, well, the biggest thing that I've learned was that your body's going to do what your mind tells it to do. So that's how all three go in together. So, you know, when you want to just make a decision and say, okay, I want to lose weight, for example, since I'm a health coach, right? And you're like, oh, I can't do that. I don't think I can do that. That's not going to work for me. That's too expensive. Like, you already decided that it's not going to work.
Yeah, that's true.
So your mental state, that's where, like, again, I stress the mental, spiritual, and the physical, all three go together. When one thing is off, then you need to check the other two areas. So I get a lot of, I'm an emotional eater, and I eat when, you know, especially women, we're emotional beings. We are. That's what makes us beautiful.
That's me right now. That's what I'm going through right now, girl.
So the thing is that, okay, so if you're an emotional eater, which a lot of us are, that means that you're eating because there's an emotional aspect of it. But what we tend to do is numb. We don't deal with the emotion, and we go for food because it gives us a quick satisfaction, but then we feel crappy afterwards because we ate what we weren't supposed to. And
I wish you guys could see my face while she's talking, because I'm smiling like, yeah.
Because we're still not dealing with that emotion. And the thing is that, as hard as it is, and I am, you know, definitely
me eating a big piece of cheesecake the other day. I was like, this is so good. And then afterwards I was like, I lost 20 pounds. If I stand on the scale, I bet you I gained like 3 of them, because this past week I've been eating crazy. Crazy.
So, I mean, that part is, it's just find people who are going to help you, find people who are aligned. You basically write a goal down. Let's say you write goals for 2021. It is, you know, what do you see yourself? You know, I want to lose 20 pounds, and then kind of go backwards. Okay. And how you get there, and give yourself a time frame. So then, okay, so in order to lose 20 pounds, really, what do you need to do you need to really be realistic with yourself. I need to maybe look at what I'm eating. I need to get a better relationship with food. I need to maybe, work on, if you don't love yourself, if we start to question like our relationships and things like that. Well, how are you going to show anybody how to love you if you don't love you? Do you really love being in the presence of you? When you look in the mirror, are you like criticizing like crazy? Or are you looking at me, I love you, like I love you, and that takes time.
It does. I'm not there yet.
So I mean, then what books am I gonna read, right? How are you gonna get that information? Because you need the information, you need the knowledge, and then you need to be able to have an understanding. Just because you have a book on self-help, that doesn't mean you understand it unless you apply it.
Yes. Some self-care books that I've been reading a lot of Joyce Meyers.
I love her.
Listen, Battlefield of the Mind. Right now I'm listening to Do It Afraid. Yeah. So when you was talking about being afraid while you're doing things, like she hits that on the button.
If you do it when you're comfortable, then you're not growing, and you have to do it hard. Because in everything, I mean, I truly believe in everything. Nothing is good, nothing is bad. Everything is a lesson. If you get out of the feelings and it's like, okay, God, what is it that you want me to learn here? What can I do today? Forgive. Those are the 4 things that I always, if I have a conflict that's really like gnawing at me, I'm like, okay, I try to go, why do I really feel this way? Like the eating, let's say, why am I really eating this way this week? Like, what is actually the problem? Okay, this person annoyed me. Okay, but what really is the problem? Because it usually isn't. Like, what about that person really annoyed you? If you ask yourself 4 times, they say 3 times, I say 4 times, go really deep. More than likely, you'll go back to something that really is the problem. And now you get somewhere, because it's like, okay, now that you acknowledged it, you were upset and you have this problem. It's like, okay, what can I do about it? What can I do about it today? Because you can't go back in the past. You can't change things. You're not going to be in regrets. You're not going to be regretting. No. Okay. Thank you, God, that I know what's happening. What can I do today? I can read the Joyce Meyers book. I can read, that's going to lead you to the other things. I'm going to read, maybe I'm going to practice prayer every morning. I'm going to practice
gratitude. That's another thing I do.
5 things you're grateful for every morning has changed my life. Before I touch the floor, 5 things. I'm grateful for my breath. I'm grateful for my bed. I'm grateful for the ceiling. I'm grateful for my legs. I'm grateful for my hands. I was in a car accident not so long ago, and I ended up being taken to the hospital. I could not be walking today. So every day, my legs and the legs that I could squat with, I'm thankful for it. Little things for my eyes. My mom lost her vision in one eye. Like how the little things are the big things in the end.
Yes.
5 things. Before you touch the ground, before you touch your phone, anything. And then I go and I sit. I learned, I'm becoming better with my relationship with God. Prayer is talking like we're doing right now. Hey God, hey, how you doing? You know what's going on.
Help a sister out.
And then being quiet. Meditate. We're not used to being quiet. We got this in our hands too much. We need that stimulation that our minds go on 100. How is he going to talk to you if you can't stay still?
Yes, you make a whole lot of sense, girl.
People talking about meditation. I don't meditation. Meditation is when he can speak to you. Meditating on the word, meditating on just being still. And if things come into your head, I give this as a strategy. Just put them in back. Like, usually in the morning, especially as women, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this. Oh my God. We can't even shut our minds. So put it in, physically visualize your things, put it in the luggage. They're there. They're not going nowhere. And then go back to trying to be quiet. You'll be amazed. Have a notebook there and just write down. Sometimes I just start writing, and when I'm writing, I'm talking, and the answer comes out as I'm writing, and I'm like bawling because I'm like, oh my God.
I'm gonna try that tomorrow morning.
So that's the power of doing a miracle morning. That's what it is. Before anybody wakes up, that's your you time. That's where you get to replenish. that's where you start your day. Why would you want to start any other way?
That is true.
With him, he's the one, he already knows that the end of your story, and you know the end of your story is going to be great. Why are we stressed in the middle? We're human. Life is always gonna life, but it's the way that you actually, how you deal with life is what's gonna make the difference. Am I gonna be scared? Am I gonna be stressed? Or I'm just gonna like take the wheel? So after you acknowledge whatever it is that's bothering you, then you're gonna say, okay, what can I do today? Then you're gonna forgive. That's very big.
Yeah.
Forgive yourself that you ate the cheesecake. Forgive whoever else, if there was actually something that you ate the cheesecake that was really the reason why you ate the cheesecake.
Forgive that person.
Because of that person that may have still have been there and you just wasn't even aware, but something just triggered it, and now you're in the cake and your feelings. But forgive yourself. Forgive that person, because forgiveness is really for you, right?
Yes.
Because you're letting it go. And the last step is releasing it with love. Surrendering. God, I give this over to you. I know that I trust you. I believe in you. I have faith in you. I know that you can restore. I know that you can heal. I know you're a miracle, worker. And you're going to make the way. And I know that everything's going to work out as it is. Thank you, God, for it is done. Saying it like it's done.
It's crazy that you're mentioning these steps, because when I got fired in October, I was going crazy, Laura. And I was angry every day, and I was stressing myself out, trying to figure out how to get my job back, right? I was calling 1199. They weren't doing anything. Everybody was just giving me a runaround. And then everybody's in my ear telling me, Barbie, no, you could fight. You could get your job back. They're not supposed to let you go. I was like that for like a good 2 weeks. And then finally, one night I prayed on it. I was like, God, if this is what it's supposed to be, help me let it go. The next morning, I got up and everybody was calling me, texting me, oh, what did you decide to do? I decided to leave it alone. I left it alone. I lost my job. That was that. It took me a while to forgive the people who were involved in that, but there came the point I forgave, and now I'm good about it. I can talk about it and not cry, because I would talk about it and cry like there was no tomorrow. But now, as things are coming along and different things are happening, I'm realizing why it had to happen.
And that's at the thing. When things happen at those precise moments, we don't know why things happen. We don't know why COVID happened. We don't know why so many people had to die. We don't know. We can go lose our minds with trying to understand an omnipotent God. It's like we're like humans trying to understand, something bigger, and everything that's ever happened to my life, I had to have to break down to have to break through. I had to go through those breakdowns, to have the breakthrough later. And it's like, oh my God, I needed to go through all of this, because today I always have single moms that come in my path, in my way. I always have, my babies, I do bilingual therapy. So I have my moms that don't speak Spanish, which was my mom. I'm Ecuadorian. So she was an immigrant to this country and she didn't know any English. And I was that child. I'm your child, literally. Yeah. That translated for her, that defended her, that had to see her be put down simply because she didn't know the language. So so these things, they're all lessons. Mm-hmm. We're not meant to stay there, like he says, in the shadow of the valley of the death. I'm not saying all like exact, but when you go through it, he is with you there. You just have to look for him and ask for that peace that only he can give. And that was this whole summer. I was just felt the most at peace. And I didn't even understand it at times, but I just did whatever I knew to do that kept me happy, which was like doing exercise and being live and talking to people and doing my meditations and trying to keep my mom calm and the aide that was here, just everything together. And pouring into myself so that I can have a conversation like this.
Yes.
So because it's
it's true. With everything I'm going through, you would think that I'll be like an alcoholic or like going through some craziness. And throughout all the madness, I'm not gonna lie, I do have my days where I'm feeling down, but most of my days I'm good. I'm at ease within, because I know that of course there's gonna be light at the end of the tunnel.
Right. Like you're doing all of this, and you know, again, you have that vision, you have that dream. I strongly suggest writing down what you see for yourself at the end of this year with this platform. What you see, where do you see yourself in 2 years, in 3 years, in 5, 10, where do you see yourself in life?
The first thing I need to do is get a studio, because you hear the kids screaming in the background. Yeah.
But that is that is part of showing people that you can do this regardless. When you have a will and you can do it. This is everything. That's why I needed us to record this.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Because this right here is gonna be so powerful to see.
Yes, that's true.
Because I already know where you're going.
Good.
I already know where I'm going. I already know, and just when you asked me to be with you, I was just like, of course. I was like, yeah. I'm super excited just to see the things that you're doing. And again, that goes to show you that you don't know what anybody goes through. When somebody comes at you wrong, when somebody is mean to you, when someone is like nasty to you, it's never about you. It's about them. It's about what they're going through. Everybody on this planet, whether you're the president, I got into that, or the janitor, or whomever, everybody has problems. There's nobody on this world. The thing is to have that personal relationship, because at the end of the day, when it's your time to go, we don't know when. It could be any seconds or tomorrow. We don't know. We're gonna be ready to go. Life doesn't. We're spiritual beings having a human experience. We're really spirit. After this is not where it ends.
I agree.
So when you know and understand that, you can actually even, not that death is not hard, because it is, and because we're humans, but knowing that there's more after this life here. So
it's true. So you were talking about your meditation. You do meditation Mondays, right?
Meditation Mondays. If you want to follow me on Instagram.
Yes, guys. Make sure you guys follow Laura. Before we close out, I usually close out with a quote. So my quote for today is, love yourself first and everything else falls in line. You really have to love yourself to get anything done in this world. Guys, once you love yourself, everything will fall into place. And little by little, as you can see, I'm living proof. I've gone through 1,000,001 things. The beginning, like Laura said, you don't know why you're going through it. As time goes by, you'll understand. So things will eventually play out the way they're supposed to. So Laura, tell everybody where to find you and to make sure to go to your Meditation Mondays. I did it last week and I sent it to my homegirls. They were like, oh my God, she's amazing.
It's Lady L _ nutrition for life. And it's nutrition, the number 4, life. So Lady L _ nutrition, the number 4, life. And I end with quotes as well. So it's, when you say that self-love, what came to me, well, I'm the vessel. What came to me was that God is love.
Amen.
Right? So if you love yourself, that's the essence of what he stands for. I always say that nothing's good, nothing's bad. Everything's a lesson. Learn the lesson and keep it moving. Don't stay stuck. Be love, spread love, God's love. How many people can you touch?
Let's see how many we can touch out there. Thank you again for joining me. And I'm sorry for going over, because I know you had a meeting.
No, that's okay. I let them know. So,
Okay, I appreciate it. Guys, make sure you go follow Laura. Not only, I don't want people to think like, oh, we're pushing Herbalife. No, we were just speaking about health in general.
Yeah.
She does the Herbalife, but she is an amazing person to talk to, especially with her Meditation Mondays. It's amazing. I tried it once last week and I was just like super relaxed. So guys, make sure you go follow Laura. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stay safe and stay blessed.
Thank you for taking the time out and tuning in to Let Me Touch You podcast. If you're not doing so already, make sure to follow Barbie on Instagram at let_me_touch_you, on Facebook at Let Me Touch You podcast, Twitter at Let Me Touch You 3, and YouTube at Let Me Touch You podcast. Make sure to subscribe, review, and tell a friend to tune in every Saturday. Until next time, stay safe and stay blessed.